Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to a special afternoon session where I often go on back on after my morning session when I didn't complete as many free readings as I would like to have. So there's no chat for this because I'm not accepting new requests for this session, but I will be back in less than 3 hours for my evening session. So if you'd like to join me then, I will about an hour before I'll put out an announcement around that. Also, a big announcement I had now have live, I'm not live, past live readings available. There's a link down in the description box of the video. They're half off for the remainder of this year. Plus, there's also a link to the giveaways. I made a giveaway announcement yesterday for all the November winners and an announcement about what I'm going to be doing with giveaways going forward, an opportunity to win a past life reading. So be sure to check those out down in the description box. After I complete this session, I will post in order how the readings, the names of the individuals of the readings, so you can see kind of where your reading stands out within this session. All right. So that is it. I am doing a little experiment. I'm continuing it on from this morning. I'm using this beautiful star seed tarot for the readings, but I'm only pulling one card for the free readings and seeing what else channel comes through with that card. So I'll get through a little more of them a little faster. Um, as well. So we'll try to get as many free readings as we can done. All right, so that is it. So we had left off with Lynx Lee. So Lynx Lee, you are up next, and you wanted to know how Leo finds you nowadays. Let's take a look here and see what Leo says here. So you do have the Six of Crystals, the Six of Pentacles, and there is this balance that's going on here. They see themselves, when we wonder how other people find us, it has so much to do with how they see themselves. And that's why I feel like it's like, well, and some days it's this and some days it's that. It really depends on what they're going through. And we don't see the world as it is, we see the world as we are. So their energy comes in here, you know, of this fluctuating. I just see the scales in my mind going up and down and up and down and up and down. It also tells me that they've got a lot going on inside about their feelings of self-worth. And that's also something that we have has nothing to do with us, right? They might have a low self-esteem, have low self-love because of what they went through when they were younger, and they haven't dug into a whole lot of that, transformed it, forgiven things, and done that type of stuff. So when they love themselves very little, they can't give or receive love. And with the balancing of this out of balance giving and receiving that they're able to do, it's out of our hands. So I really feel like with this Leo, there's this lot of some shadow work that could be done if they are up for it, um, just to release themselves from these old out of balance beliefs around what they like. They have to give 1,000 love coins to deserve one back. So there's these force fields keeping love and opportunity and abundance out of their lives. And this is what I feel, with that, with the Six of Pentacles coming in here, that, you know, you along with everything else in their life, it's all moment by moment how they're feeling and how they feel like they're not getting what they deserve in life. So there's a lot of lower vibrational energy that surrounds them. I like that they're experiencing this for him, but because the turnaround for him eventually is going to be pretty awesome, but they're not close to that right now. So I don't know, Linksley. I just kind of feel like you can send them love from a distance, but if you're looking to get anything from them, consistency, you're just going to get this up and down and up and down. The scale changes so many times throughout the day, depending on how their inner child is interpreting everything that's coming toward them. So that's what's coming in. So hang in there, Linksley, but that's what they have right now for you. I would, it's up to you whether you want to continue to wait around for that day, but I feel like it's way far off. I don't feel like they're someone who's really super encouraged and excited about doing shadow work. So there you go. All right, there. So hang in there, Linksley. And then we got soul searching vibe, and you want to know what spirit has for you in general. Wow. So spirit wants you to know with the Nine of Cups that there is this feeling of wish fulfillment, this feeling of fullness and completeness that is coming in here. And the dreams come true card, it's one of the two. So there is this hope. There is this excitement about dreams can come true. But I feel like it's interesting because this is standing out to me here, this bright light that's shining down the light upon what the dream is. And I feel like you're going through this transformation and trying to understand, what is my dream come true? What is it that I want to do with my life? What experiences do I want to, have? And, how do I uniquely want to express that unconditional love in my heart with the world? And I like this for you because I feel like there's this clarity coming in. So many of us are given here's your dream when we're younger, right? And so we live it and we're like, oh God, I got to go live my dream today. That's not your dream. When you wake up in the morning excited because this is of, you are truly living your heart's dream. You wake up early, you don't hit the snooze alarm. You wake up, you know, excited for the day and what you're going to able to accomplish here. And I feel like this is what Spirit is saying is that, yeah, this is a time for you to really shine light upon what this dream is and clarify what is of you and your heart and what is influenced by fear of letting people down, this conditioning and everything that we were given growing up, and going, what are we afraid of to live our true dream? And I like that for you. So it's a good important time to take a step back and look at that. All right, and that's what they have for you, soul searching vibe. And then smooth life, you want to know, how will your future spouse be? So let's get something here. So we've got the 10 of swords, the 10 of orbs, which normally this is someone with 10 swords stuck in their back. And that's a good card. It's about they've uh, really have learned a lot about letting go of expectations and letting go of a lot of supposed tos and shoulds and need tos and have tos and musts that they have been, inundated them in their life. And so I feel like they've broken free from the mold. They've broken free from this, you know, because they've released themselves from the cage. They won't put you in a cage either. They'll celebrate differences. They'll be open minded and want to hear about what you have to say, and they're just on another level of their communication and their thinking and their supposed tos and their shoulds and their thoughts and their beliefs and their mindsets. They really have done a lot of clearing away of the clutter out of their mind from the past. So I like this because it does bring them to this place of great amount of open-mindedness. Maybe they're an air sign, they definitely have a lot of it, or maybe even like a Virgo, Capricorn. They're ruled by Mercury, who are big thinkers too, and I like this. So could be an air sign or Mercury, not a Mercury, a Virgo or Capricorn. I'm sorry, Capricorn's not ruled by Mercury. Just I know Capricorns are big thinkers because I have a Capricorn rising. So, but they're big thinkers too. Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury, but Gemini are air signs already. So anyway, that's your zodiac teaching for today. But that's what they have coming through. So that is what they have for right now. Smooth life. So many blessings to you. I like that for you. And then angel blessings. You want to know any blessings coming towards you. You got the 7 of Pentacles. You do. The last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. And this does say that there is fruit that is coming in. And because it's a blessing that we're looking at here, I feel like this is toward the end of, you've watched the little seedling rise above the ground and the trunk grow and the branches. And then the leaves have come out, and the blossoms came out. And you're at this point where you're starting to see the fruit start to appear. And these blessings are things that have been in the works, things that have been taking a long time to come around are coming to fruition. And I like it for you. Don't be afraid when the blessings come and the fruit of your labor, comes, that if it's not satisfying anymore, if you're like, well, that was good, it was the journey getting here that was fun. Now that I have it, I want something else. I'm gonna go off in this direction on the next adventure, and that's okay. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the process, enjoy the seasons as things grow and the harvest comes and all that, and I like it for you. So, that is what they have coming here. So you'll know what this is, though, with this, whatever this has been taking a while to come to fruition. All right, so many blessings to you, angel blessings. And then a new Sri, you want a message from your future self. And you've got the 5 of crystals, the 5 of pentacles. So the 5 of pentacles is this feeling of abandonment, here's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer being left out of the reindeer games back here. But it's this feeling of abandonment, being left behind, literally out in the cold with all these icicles. But these are feelings of lack, and it has to do with our self-worth. And so your future self is saying, it is a good time here for you to really look at, what's below the surface here. Where are these beliefs about low worth coming from? And it'll normally be between 7 years old and younger, even in the womb, where you were picking up, all this emotional, when that's when your emotional body is being created. And so that's where these, um, the scales of our worth are created, and the belief systems that we have about our worth and how we're what we're worthy of, and um we're fed a lot of through praise and punishment around, our acceptability and all this. And so there is some transformation bubbling below the surface, and I feel like your future higher self is just saying, you know what, the sooner you look into that, the better for you in the long run. um, if we wait till later in our life, we just kind of repeat and kind of go in circles around some things. And I feel like they're saying that there's some things that are just a couple little things that are keeping you in this loop, that if you can deal with too little relationship belief systems of things that, two significant events in your life where you really use those to define your worth, that with those transforming and you looking into those, that just takes you and skyrockets you. And I like this for you coming from your future higher self, because they're looking back, they're going, I can see that if I would have done this a little earlier, things would have been so different. And it's not that it's good or bad, it's just different, but it different in a more higher experience that you have in this lifetime. Like abundance and love and different things can come sooner than later, depending on how much inner work we do. Because the more we raise our love vibration to a higher vibration, we draw in higher vibrational people, situations, experiences. But the more we hang out in the lower vibration, we also draw on that. We came here to experience those lower vibrational experiences, so that's okay. Again, neither is right, neither is wrong. They just bring us different events and different experiences. So I like that from them. But I feel like there's two significant situations when you were younger that still are kind of bubbling down there below the surface. All right. So that's what they have for you, Nusri. So many blessings to you. And then Pinky, you are up next. Messages from your Pisces. Let's see here. So you got the Adept of Orbs, and the Adept of Orbs here. This would be, the Knight of, here's the Knight right here, the Knight of Swords that is coming in here. And so there is this movement of communication, first of all, with sword suit, because that is about, it's the suit of communication, but it's also the suit of thoughts, beliefs, mindsets, expectations, belief systems. And it does say that there's this change of mindset. They are in pursuit of looking at things from a higher perspective, and they are in the process of cutting away fears and thoughts and beliefs that used to restrict them. It's like there's this message of, you know, I'm going through a lot of reflection about beliefs that I have grown up with, all these mindsets that I thought everyone believed in. And I feel like they're saying to you that because of you, I'm questioning some of these mindsets that I had, and in the process of transforming them and doing some inner work around them. But be patient with me because it's not easy for me to change my habit of thinking of these things. And I'm trying. So I feel like that's kind of the message that's coming in here from the Pisces, is that they are trying to change, how they think, then that changes how they act. And but I feel like it's taken a while because they're going about it the long way. Is what I feel like their higher self is telling you. Because it's like, well, I w emotions create thoughts and beliefs, and they're trying to change thoughts and beliefs without getting to the emotions, and it's taking time for them to do that. That's why it feels like it's taking, like, I'm trying, and it's like, well, maybe if you do it this way, it would work. It would work faster, right? So, just have some patience with them as they're going through that, so that's what's coming in. Sorry, this looks like, is my camera, am I a little crooked? There. I was like, I feel like I'm leaning, ah! Alright. So that's what they have for you, Pinky. So, just understand that they're going through some big, uh, some significant changes of thoughts around things, which are a source of conflict between the two of you. And so this is clearing up slowly. All right. So many blessings, Pinky. And then Kritika Mahotra. Hi. General reading for December. So you have got the Nine of Flames, the Nine of Wands here. I like this for you here because it is about busting through what used to be this barrier, and you're really stepping into your power in the month of December that's allowing you to, ignite and step forward into this path. And it is bringing you this, you can see how they have a bandage on their head there. They've been, something where you've been hitting your head up against the wall over and over and over again, right? You feel like I've been doing things the same way, and I kept getting the same result, but you were stubborn with it. You persevered, and sometimes, we hit our head up against a wall over and over again, and it's insanity thinking that if I keep doing it, I'm gonna get a different result. Most of the time, it's like, well, you got to change how you're approaching it. But in this particular case, this emphasis of you trying to do this thing was, the perseverance was coming from within you, going, no, no, this is where we're going to go. You just need to do one little more thing. And you did. And then I feel like in December, as you're stepping into your power and your understanding, really like stepping into your authority, I get to decide, the thoughts that I put around things, the emotions that I choose in each moment, the energy I put forward in my physical action. This is you stepping into your power, which allows you to remove this obstacle, and you're able to move forward because you're no longer feeling like you're at the whim of what events are happening on the outside. You're changing your focus of energy, going, when I focus in on what I'm missing or that I hate or that I fear will come in or out of my life, or I fear will not leave my life or stay in my life, uh, I grow it and I keep it and I empower it. But if I start focusing on gratitude, and this is the grasping on of the Ace of Wands that they have here, that they're able to then step forward. And here's this perfect path here that you can, step through on here. So I love this for you. So it feels like December is a great barrier is opened, and a big gate is open for you to move forward. So I like it for you, and that is what they have. So Kritika, so many blessings to you. And then Goldie, you're up next. You want spirit guidance for your love life. All right. Well, you got the Seeker of the Orbs, which is the page of swords. And so this is, when we look at the the energy behind this regarding love, when you get the Page of Swords, it is about new communication coming in. So there will be communication coming in, but it's dependent upon here how fast you release some of the mindsets you have around what love life is supposed to be and should be and need to be and have to be and must be, who they are supposed to be, should be, who I'm supposed to be, all these rules that you were, have created and were given to you. And you're like, okay, I'll take those on. I'll take those on that you have around relationships. Because what happens is when we have all our heart caged with all these expectations, it's let's see, delays and slows down the ability for love to come towards us. Because when we have this thin, you know, um, pathway of saying, okay, creator, it has to be this person in this way and this timing and da 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 da. We limit all of those possibilities because we say it has to be this. When we're trying to control it all, that's what that particular relationship that's so in that thin area is like on back order for 1,000 years. But if we'll cut away thoughts and beliefs and mindsets, expectations, and release those, we get to this point where we trust Creator to bring in the perfect person in the perfect way and also in the perfect timing. And but the amazing thing that happens is when we open those up, there's all these possibilities. These things can ship much more faster. They're not on back order for 1,000 years. So as it opens up, there's more opportunities that are able and a more yeah, more possibilities that the creator can use to bring love towards us. If we're stubborn, going, no, it has to be this, they're like, well, that's not possible for you in this lifetime. Several lifetimes, it'll be 1,000 years from now. You want to wait? No. All right. Well, and then we can look at opening up and allowing, different things to come in, right? It's like, no, I want ice cream from this shop on this day. And they're like, well, they're closed on those days. I don't care. And they're like, well, they're not open, so you can't get it. They're only open once a year on, on the 4th of July. And so do you want to wait till 4th of July of next year? You're like, no. Well, then you want ice cream from this store? Okay. We are able to get something sooner, can still be the same, flavor, just from a different place, right? So anyway, now we want ice cream. All right. So that's what they have for you, Goldie. So many blessings to you. And then Magana, you are up next. So hi. So you said someone got mad at you when you talked about some other guy. Oh, he's been acting all good now, just like before. What's up with him? What does he feel about us? So this person got mad at you when you talked about some other guy, and he's been acting all good now. So SW's been acting all good now, like before. So what's up with him? Oh, okay. Karma. So there is this, with this double endings and double new beginnings with the double X's here. The judgment card in karma, it is about switching and changing up of things, being drawn to see things from this higher perspective. So with this type of energy that's coming in here, he didn't get what when you look at they got mad at me. No, people don't get mad at us. When people are mad, they're angry. Anger is part of fight or flight, which means they're in fear, right? So when anyone is expressing a lower vibrational energy, whether it's sadness, depression, anger, whatever, it's rooted in fear. There's a fear that's happening. And so they became fearful when you talked about someone else because that ignited these insecurities inside of them like, oh, I'm not going to be chosen. I'm not good enough. All those things that most of us humans fear. And this is what ignited in here. So when he's been acting all good now, just like before, it means he's trying to live up to who he thinks you want them to be, so that he's not rejected, right? And so, his feelings is that he wants to be loved, but you can't give him that love anyway, and they can't give you the love you're looking for because the love is inward and upward, is what we're truly looking for. And, the whole experience that you have with this individual, allows you to see these truths that come in with all of this, right? That, okay, I can try to manipulate and try to force someone to be who I want them to be by withholding or withholding my love, which is rejection, or it's like manipulation is I act sad when I don't get my way, and if that doesn't work, I act angry when I don't get my way, and if that doesn't work, then I reject. And then if that doesn't work, I go back to the sadsies and say, "I can't believe when I rejected you, you didn't come back after me." And keep going through that loop. That's what humans are taught. We've been doing it for centuries and centuries. But when we realize that that's manipulation, then we're able to free ourselves from giving into it, because when people act sad, we're like, "Oh, I'm responsible for your emotions. I'll do whatever you want." They get angry and they bully us. We out of fear, we're like, "Oh, don't. I will, I don't want you to be angry and mad. I will do what you want me to do." Or they'll reject us. We're like, "No." But when we don't, when we find that love inside of us, that's how we can it's like the cure for being able to be manipulated. It's like blackmail. Someone tries to blackmail you, you're like, "Here, everyone, here's all the stuff they're blackmailing me with. Where's your power?" The same thing with manipulation. I have no fear of rejection or physical harm or, being responsible for other people's emotions. And so you can't manipulate me anymore. And I don't try to manipulate people anymore either, with the awareness of it all. So I feel like that's an important thing coming in here. They do have, I don't feel like they're strong, they want to be loved and they're looking for love and they don't want to, I don't know, I just don't feel like they're specifically attached to a person um, for love. They just love the feeling of being loved, if that makes sense. So when it's because he's in search of this love, because he doesn't have this high self love, right? So this is what's coming in, Magana. Hopefully that makes sense. But that is what they have for you right now with that card. So hang in there, and many blessings to you. And then Crystal Davis, you are up next. Hello, hello. So does Ken have good feelings and intentions towards Alicia? All right. We got the Hanged Man here, and the Hanged Man is like this transformative, transitional energy. It's almost like a cocoon. And I feel like their intentions are transforming and changing. It feels like there's this stagnancy, if that makes sense, this slowness of intention. And I feel like they're trying to understand. It's like they're going through this big transformation in their own life. And because of that, they don't know what they want, but they don't have ill intentions. um, I just don't know if they know what intentions they want. Um, so that's different, right? Ill intentions are, oh, I want to use them and get what I want, and then or whatever. Um, but I just feel like they don't not sure because they don't know what their life is unfolding. They're like, I'm about to become a butterfly. I'm about to break out of this cocoon and be a butterfly. And I don't know what that life looks like. I don't know what I want. And because I haven't been a butterfly before, I've always been a caterpillar. And I feel like because they don't know what kind of life they want to lead and live, or what's going to happen here as this transformation unfolds, they don't know what they want. But I don't feel any ill intentions. Um, and I don't feel any uh, bad feelings. But wouldn't necessarily say like good. Like I say, it's neutral. They are just trying to understand themselves. So that's a big piece of the energy that's coming in there, Crystal. So hopefully that makes sense. And many blessings to you. And then Bonita, you want to know what's coming up for you in 2024. So one of the things I want you to know is, boom, you got the King of Wands, the Master of Flames. So this is the kind of the entrepreneur emperor energy where it's like I'm choosing, I'm moving forward, I'm putting my focus, I'm putting form around what my dream is, what my passion is. I want to, movement, movement, movement. A lot of things that have been on hold and waiting. There's a lot of birthing of things and movement of things and upgrading of things and moving away from things and just a lot of activity, but it's all on purpose for a purpose. So it's a year of really understanding what your true north is, and you're like super motivated in getting toward it. So there is a lot of, like I said, a lot of movement, a lot of clarity that comes in, and maybe some adjustments too of what is it that I want, to achieve? What is that true north? Where am I headed? Which way do I go? Which way do I go? Right. So I like that for you. So that's what they want you to know so far. All right. Many blessings to you, Bonita. And then new love, you want to know, how would B react if I gave her a gift and explain the reasons behind it? All right. Well, you got the shadow, the devil card energy here, which, their reaction would be, and it would be unexpected and different. It wouldn't be like this, wow. It's almost like they've got this fear, um, you know, because the devil card shakes and rattles all our belief systems, and with this, what I'm seeing in my head is like you give them a gift and they're like, I don't deserve this. They're a giver. They need to be giving. They need to be needed. And they give and they give and they give. But when anyone tries to give them something, they deflect it because they don't feel they deserve it because they haven't given enough yet. And I feel like when you give them the gift and explain it, of course, they're touched by it, they're moved by it, but there's this big, it's like you giving the gift along with other people giving them things. They're just having to deal with these feelings of not feeling worthy of receiving. And it's good. It's what's needed. I encourage it. I feel like it would be a positive thing. But if you're giving it to get a response, forget it, because you're not going to get what you're wanting to get from them. It's going to be like, oh, I wanted it to be like a wonderful experience and everything, but you can feel the guilt and see how they're like, oh, I don't deserve this, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, bleh. It's you're being more of a tool for the universe to help them face this about themselves, so it doesn't turn into this uh wonderful happy ending story. It becomes, where they're like, oh, I really don't deserve this, maybe you should give this to someone else. And you're like, "Ugh, I just, they like, what was um I forget which movie it was. I think it was the one where he held the radio above his head, "Can't Buy Me Love." I don't know what it is, but he was like, "I gave her my heart and she gave me a pen." That's what it feels like. What a disappointment. So, that's what they have for you, new love. So, there you go. But I would encourage you to do it. Just don't do it out of with expecting anything but, you know, "All right, I'm doing it for my feeling to give, but don't expect anything in return because you'll be just disappointed." All right. So that's what we have. All right. And then Andrea Macias Gomez. Hello, hello. So, should you stay or move on from Brandon? So, we'll ask Spirit, what's for your highest experience here? And well, you got the Two of Cups. So, it says here that right now, um, continuing to be in this, focusing on relationship is important here. But there is this underlying message that the important thing, because you're learning a lot about yourself through here, and you'll know when it's time to move on. But in the meantime, this is about you having this type of important relationship developed with your higher self. Because if you don't connect higher to your higher love, um, you won't be able to give and receive love, to a higher, greater amount. Um, this relationship with Brandon is showing you what you want to see about yourself. And you might be looking at, like, why do I keep picking the same person that's bringing me the same message over and over and over again? Right. that, I keep on ending up with the same person in a different body. And it's because they're a mirror that are continually showing you what you want to see about yourself until you see it. And that's why I feel like they're saying, hang out a little longer, um, because you're going to be able to really zero in and see what is it that I want to see about myself, about my own self-love, my own self-worth, right? So I do like this, even though it might feel like painful, and it's like, why are you slowly pulling off the band-aid on my hairy arm? Just rip it off. It's like, nope, it's you're learning something through this, and it's important. I don't feel like it's going to be like you're going to be with them for a lot longer. um but I feel like the more you focus in on inward and upward on your self-love, that's what takes your love vibration higher, and things will just naturally drift apart. And I feel like you already feel like a drifting apart that's been happening. And that's what's happening, is because they're staying at the lower vibrational love energy that you guys had when you met, but you've changed. You're evolving. Your heart love has been vibrating higher and higher. Your self-worth has been increasing, your self-love has been increasing, but they're staying down here, but you're still learning from the situation. And eventually it's far enough away where they just start drifting away, and you're not attracting that anymore. You'll attract into something that is more in alignment with your higher love. So I feel like right now you are learning from the experience, but really focus in on going, what, when I look at them, what do I see about myself? When I look at them and I have this judgment on what they're doing or not doing, how am I doing and not doing that to myself? Because that's why they're that mirror for you right now. But but it's important. They're like a stepping stone that take you, eventually to your soul partner. But if you like, you wanna learn this with Brandon, not with them, right? You wanna have this behind you when you go forward. So that's what they have for you, Andrea, so hang in there, many blessings to you. And then Hot Sun, hello. You wanna know, will Matt be furthering your connection this month towards something more committed? Also, can we see what's at the bottom of the deck? Sure. So we've got the Hierophant here. Wow, yeah. So you got the commitment card here. Yes, yes, they will. Easy breezy. And underneath, yeah, the bottom of the deck is Reason, which is the four, which is the Emperor card. The Emperor is about taking action, putting form, deciding for themselves, taking charge, action, action, action. And so it does feel like they will be furthering their connection this month towards something committed. I mean, the Hierophant is the card of commitments, contracts and marriage, and seeking higher truths and capital T truths as well. But I mean, you can't ask for a clear, response. Are they going to commit? And you get the commitment card. Okay, yes, yes, they will. So sometimes we get some really, really super, super clear answers. So I like that for you. So there you go, hot sun. Get ready. All right. So many blessings to you. And then Mimi, you are up. You want to, how does he feel about you? All right. Wow. So you've got the moon card, which is Mother Luna. So nurturing and emotional. They see there's a great amount of emotion that's bubbling below the surface. There's a lot of subconscious connection here. And I am being, below the surface, our subconscious, our Akashic records, where our past life connections are stored to all of our life experience. It's like our CPU drive, our hard drive on our computer. We've got so much down there. And I feel like there is this connection between the two of you from past lives that draws you guys together. And I don't think they really have any idea of why. They're just like, I just have this draw. And like, you might even both feel like you know each other. Like, don't I know you from somewhere? But you don't. Or if you do, it's much deeper than that. It's like, I feel like I've known you forever. And that's because you've had past lives together. And there's this draw here. So there's this emotion bubbling below the surface and in the human too, in this past lifetimes and this lifetime. But they do see you as someone who is very nurturing, the divine feminine energy of spirit. And they do see you as just compassionate and this type of energy. So I like it. And in a way here too, you see how the full moon shines in the darkness. I feel like that is what you bring for them too. You bring a little bright. I feel like you're very positive and outgoing and um if you have a choice between laughing or crying, you're like, "I've cried enough in my life, I wanna laugh." And I feel like you have this upbeat where you bring in a situation, you can bring in some humor, you can bring in some bright light and comfort, and, they see you as this type of individual, so I like it. But there is definitely emotion flowing in this realm and in the, subconscious too. So that is what they have there for you. So many blessings to you, Mimi. All right. And then great courts. You are up next. Let's take a look here. See you. Oh, wisdom tooth surgery today. Woohoo. That was fun. They put me under to take out all four of my wisdom teeth at the same time. And uh back then they were able just to put me under. So I counted down and I woke up and I was giddy and I was hungry. So your surgeon removed 1 weeks ago. Today he removed the last one. So no, you're no more wise. You were confident it was the left, but he couldn't find it. So he felt guilty. He opened you up like literal tears and he didn't want you to pay. Oh wow. So um really, really guilty. What should I know about this? So, um, you were confident it was the left, he thought it was the other, so he opened you up and found out like, "Oh, there's nothing there," and so he made a mistake, is that what you're saying? And so he felt really, really guilty. Wow. Yeah. So you got the Sage of Chalices, which is the, Queen of Cups. And so there's a lot of intuition, there's a lot of deep emotion stuff that's below the surface there. So here's the waterfall, the tears falling from their eyes. It has to do with so much more than just that. Um, it's a culmination of other stuff. It's not just you know, that he cut into your mouth when he shouldn't have. I mean, malpractice. He doesn't wanna lose his job, fears, fears, fears. So there's some of that that's going on with making a mistake. You don't wanna be known for making a mistake, and maybe he was really beaten up a lot growing up about making mistakes and different things too. But I just feel like, mainly it is, you know, there's all this emotion that was bubbling up, and this was just the last thing that you know? So, so that's what's happening, that's what was going on, it was much more. He did definitely feel bad about it, and there's fears about all that stuff, but there was a lot of emotional buildup that's just this was as they say, the feather that broke the camel's back. It seemed like a small thing to you, but it was just that was the last thing. That camel was just like, "I give up, it's too much. I got too much going on." So, there's a lot more going on there, in their lives. So that's what they have for you, great courts, and, enjoy your healing and no pain, no impacted wisdom teeth. Um, you're letting go of the earth wisdom, and now you're more connected to the higher wisdom. I like it. Right, so thanks again, hang in there. And then Brian Oliver, you are up next. So what are the intentions of Amanda and her father, Jeff, regarding you? All right. Well, we do have the Seeker of Flames, which is the Page of Wands. And so there is this new, it's like it's usually like a new passion, a new drive, a new kind of energy, a new spark, a new action with all of that. And so it does feel here like there's this, um, I don't know, a reboot, a retry, um, a healing, a purification, you know? It just feels like it feels very pure. If there was altercations, they wanna, like, they wanna get rid of this they wanna get rid of any conflict, um, and they want a resolution or a reboot or restart if you're interested in, like, if you guys are a relationship, or it just feels like, and it doesn't need to be a romantic relationship if it was, like, friendships and stuff, but it just feels like they're wanting there's this new, um, fire under their butt to try to have smooth communication between you guys. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it just feels like, um, that they just want this. It bugs them, and it's like if there's any kind of I keep on coming back to conflict. So if that makes sense, but they just don't want conflict anymore, and they're just tired of this taking so much energy, and they're wanting, just to start things over, reboot, just like all the stuff I said here. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what I feel the intentions are below the surface there. All right, Brian. So thank you so much. Many blessings to you. And then tarot to tarot. Hi, your question is, should you go to college or do a trade school like Job Corps? All right, let's take a look here. Well, you got the Sage of Crystals, which is the Page of Pentacles. So this is about new opportunities, but this is not of the mind. This is more of the earth, 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 right? And so with it being more earthy rather than mind, even though a trade school you know, um, you learn and you're using your mind. I feel like the trade school is more you're learning to use your hands, and that's why I feel like with the earth, it's getting your hands dirty and into the earth. So I feel like they're guiding you more towards what will bring you the more success and just fulfillment is trade school, instead of, like college. I feel like college, you're like, eh, same old, blah, blah, blah. It's like you don't want to do as much time either. I feel, and you're like, I want to do something smaller, more compact, more direct, and not so all of these classes of all this stuff I'm not going to use. I feel like you don't want to waste your time in either. You're like, I just want to use all my time is focusing on my craft, not on being fully rounded, as they say, right? So that's what I feel is coming in for you, tarot. So you always get to do what you want to do, though, right? And it's funny, whenever we're faced with, should I do A or B? There's no shoulds, which I I could have mentioned, when we ask spirit, should I do? They're like, there's no should on the spiritual side. There's just could, and there's just different experiences. There's no wrong choice. But to discover what we truly want, sometimes what helps is like if you get a coin and you go like, heads, college, tails, trade school, and you flip the coin, whatever you get, if you're like, all right, that's it, then you knew that's what you wanted. If you get like, oh, like if in this case, what I feel like if you got trades like tails, you got trade school, like, okay, there we go. If you got heads, you're like, best two out of three. When you feel this best two out of three and you're disappointed, you know what your being truly wants was the other, right? So I like that. But that's what they have for you, Tarot to Tarot. So many blessings to you. And Nidhi Saravaya, hi, hi, hi. So you've been feeling very low from some days. Oh, boo boo boo. And no support, no positivity, only negative people surrounded by who they only criticize you. They're your loved ones. And you just feel about just gave up on everything and you need some guidance. Okay. Yeah, and so we're sending you bunch of love. And of course, we're always here for you if you ever need anything. And if you're feeling down and you don't feel like you have anywhere and we're not live, feel free to email me at my bruddaZEN at gmail.com. It's in the description box of the video. So if you're ever feeling down outside of those times, we're here for you. Um, but and let me, I'll pull a card here for you. But it all happens on purpose for us, right? Because when we're feeling down, when we're feeling unsupported, when we're disappointed and feeling unstable, it's because we are looking to the outside world to give us something they can't give us. We're taught, all of us humans, right, are taught to, as I would say, unless you're a little baby that's, orphaned and you're given to a Buddhist monastery when you're young, you're taught, like everyone else, to define your worth by relationships, situations, and things. And the problem with that is that all those things are unstable. And when we define ourselves by those things, we feel unstable, right? When we're taught that those things are supposed to fulfill us and they don't, because they're not, they're temporary things that aren't consistent and unstable, then we feel unfulfilled, right? And so this is a lot of the energy that you're feeling, but it's on purpose for purpose. And I like that you're here because that is what's good. It's that you are leaving behind, you're changing how you're appearing and looking at things. Because when we get disappointed enough and unsatisfied in the outside world enough, then we turn inward and upward and we find what we've been looking for all along, which is the only thing that's stable in this realm, which is the eternal unconditional love of the higher realms. And we define ourselves by that. We feel solid and together, because when we look at relationships, people change, people walk away, people pass away, very unstable. People could be in a bad mood. They could be scared. They could be not feeling good. And that means they're going to they're not going to bring us, love. They're going to bring us fear. They're going to be expressing fear, not love. And so when we realize that, we're like, okay, you know, that we understand that, and then situations like jobs, education, social status, all that constantly changing, unstable, and things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions, they break down, they blow up, they burn down, they're destroyed, right? They're stolen from us, deteriorate over time. And so all unstable and not fulfilling for very long, if at all. But it's by design, and we do turn inward and upward, and we we're able to have this change that comes in, right? And you have the two of flames, which does show us here the our power of our energy. And um when things happen, one of the big things that we can do when we are feeling down, when we feel all this, realizing that whatever we focus our energy on is what grows and expands. So if I focus in on how they're not being supported and there's no positivity, there's all this negativity around me. When I focus on all the negativity, my amazing power grows the negativity, right? But when I focus in and consciously connect to the spirit world, because that's where we, unconditional love. I do things that bring me joy, laughter. I try to laugh as much as I can, but I really focus on gratitude. What am I grateful for? And then that changes my energy. And then I draw in things that match that energy instead of that energy. And so, there is this empowerment that comes in here, and that is like, you don't need anyone else to rescue you or anything. You are powerful, and are the one that every moment you're making a choice of the story you're putting to everything, the emotion you're feeling, the energy you're putting forward, the action you're taking. You're not responsible for all those other people, because when you're looking at, the people that are around you that are criticizing and that are negative, that means they're in fear, because every moment is either of unconditional love or fear, right? So if they're not giving this love and joy and laughter and celebration, and they're giving all this other lower vibrational stuff, then you know that they're in fear because they're expressing fear. And that's not about you. So when they criticize, they're looking in a mirror. And so it's like if you walk by someone in a hallway looking in a mirror going, "You are never gonna amount to anything. You suck, blah, 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 blah." You're like, "Oh, how sad," that they feel that way about themselves. Well, when these people are voicing to you these critical things, that's about them in some way. They're telling you how they're feeling about themselves, not about you, because they can't see past their pain. They only see this mirror in front of them. And so, hopefully that helps with that, but I love that for you. And I feel like I want to give you a "You Are Awesome" card here from Spirit too. I love it. Bigfoot. Let's see if it'll focus in here. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Maybe if I put this one next to it. Sometimes it just needs close here. Well, you can kind of see it here. Sorry, it's not wanting to focus in. But it says, it's Bigfoot holding a heart. "I openly show my emotions and attention." That's what everyone is. Everyone is openly showing their emotions and intentions by their actions. Says it helps to have a GPS tracking device on my heart. That's what's on the heart, is a little GPS tracking device. There's no losing your own heart for this Bigfoot. So I love that. Let your heart be your guide, not other people's actions and words, because they don't have anything to do with you. So hang in there, needy. And we've got a few more to go here. Yeah, and so Melissa Hadzik, hello, hello. And you wanted to know, oh yeah, I finally got over my sinus cold, whatever thing. I feel so much better. Thank you. So you're preparing to have a reading with me on Christmas break. Yay, looking forward to that. How fun. So your question for now is, does Dino miss you at all? We got the 6 of Cups here, and the 6 of Cups is that there's this equal, emotion on either side, 3 cups on either side. So they have feelings, but and the 6 of Cups just talk about past life connections, and I just feel like you are so much more aware of this past life connection. These so you have more of this, um I would say chains. That sounds too ominous, but these strings, you have these strings that are connecting you. You are more aware of those than they are, and that's why it tugs at you more than they do. I just don't know. I just feel like they're kind of unaware at this point in their lifetime. They've chosen this life of being fully in humanity with little awareness of their spirituality for about 10 more years is what I feel. And past life, and maybe we can, if you're wanting to do a past life reading, we can do a past life reading if that's what you're looking for, when we on your Christmas break. But it's like in the past lifetime, it kind of feels like it's mirrored opposite, right? Where you were the one that was kind of wanted to have the oblivious life for a while, and they were the one that was aware of this emotional connection. Like you had role reversal in a past life, and now on this lifetime, you're like, oh, cool. Well, let's switch places, and now let's see how that we want to see things from that perspective, not out of like karmic debt and you got to make up for it. It's out of curiosity. You're like, "Ooh, I wonder what it was like in your shoes." And they're like, "Yeah, I want to know what it was like in your shoes." And you guys are flipping, roles. So I don't feel like they miss. I just don't feel like they're aware of missing people. I just feel like they're so about what's happening right now, and they're so distracted and so easily. It's like they have ADHD where they're just like, What's that? What's happening over there? What was this over there? What?" They're like, if they're like, "I wonder what's going on with Melissa. Oh, what's this over here?" It's it's not that. They're just always distracted, always they can't focus. And I feel like this is happening on purpose for them. for their, of course, for their own experiences, but it doesn't have to do with you. But I feel like the reason why it's such a strong connection for you is because you do have a past life connection with the Six of Cups that goes back lifetimes. And you're aware of it because you have access more to the Akashic records and you're very in tune with your emotions. And you're like, what is all this stuff? Don't they see it? And they're like, no, they don't. So that's what's going on, Melissa. So hang in there, my dear. But at least you know it's like, okay, it's about them, not about you. All right. So hang in there. Many blessings to you. And then Spiritual Journey Tarot, you are up next. So, winter of 2024, what's coming towards you? So, we're talking about, the last week of December and then through March. You got the Four of Orbs, the Four of Swords. So, there is peace of mind that comes on here, you know, peace of mind in 2024 with the Four of Orbs. And this is about you're becoming aware of connecting, like you're resting upon awareness, capital T truths of the higher realm, things that you're learning that are more rooted in unconditional love rather than the fears of losing conditional love. The other three swords that are normally Four of Swords has someone sleeping on the Ace of Swords, but you're sitting on the the fourth orb. The other three swords are normally on the wall, which this is showing that you're being aware of those fears that you've had. And I feel like the winter is a time of great reflection for you, where you're really looking at the other three areas that we have expectations around: relationships, situations, and things. Those are the three swords, the three different themes of our life. And when we have expectations on any of those things, we always get to experience disappointment because the things of the outside world are unstable and disappointing because they are not eternal. They're temporary, right? People change, people walk away, people pass away, situations never stay the same. Things break down, deteriorate, all of that. And so that's this winter is you're seeing the inconsistency and the instability of the outside world, which gives you this great connection. And I know you know this, but I feel like it drops into the brain in your heart. This is interesting. The brain in your heart, and it sinks in there, and it's like, oh wow, ding. And the big ahas around these things, which bring you a great amount of peace of mind um, through the winter season. So I like this for you. A great time of reflection. All right. That's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. And then Ashvin Rai, hello, hello. You want to know, why are you getting stuck in so many problems? When is it going to end? All right, let's take a look here. Well, you've got the Adept of Chalices, which is the Knight of Cups. And this does tell you, why are you stuck in so many problems? Well, all the knights have a quest, and the Knight of Cups is questing after the Holy Grail, the chalice, which is really the Ace of Cups, are where we're experiencing and connecting to the higher truths. We fill up with this love and it overflows out to the world. So I like this energy that comes in here for you because there is this you know, um, the reason why you get stuck in so many problems is because the quest for love, we're told to look out here for it, right? But the love outside of us is conditional and is imitation of what we're looking for. Because you're looking for the chalice, which is unconditional love, and we can only find that inward and upward to the spiritual realm, right? That's the eternal unconditional love that they have. And when we look for it out in the outside world, it's disappointment, disappointment, disappointment. And when we see things as problems, it's because we're attaching our identity and our lovability to that, which self love comes from self, inward and upward. When we define our worthiness and our lovability by the outside world, it's called a retail price. What am I worth to the things of the outside world? The thing about retail It's up and down and all over the place, and you end up on the clearance rack or donated, because that's the fickleness of the worth of the outside world. Because you could be a parka coat in northern Alaska during the winter, and you are priceless, right? People are fighting over you. There's like not many, and there everyone wants that warmth, right? But you're that same coat on a tropical island on the equator during the summer. psh, that's there you go. You're not even on the clearance rack. You are donated to Goodwill. And that's the fickleness of the outside world. It depends on who and what and when and where and blah 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 and blah 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 blah, and it never stays the same. But when you turn inward and upward, that's where you find the solution, because the solution to every problem is unconditional love that we find on the inside. Problems seem to happen when we are defining ourselves, but there's fear. There's so much fear in this world. There's so much condition that that's where the problem is that there's fear attached. And so when you become aware of that and you're looking at what are my problems, what's the fear at the root of it, you realize it comes down to the fear of rejection, the fear of losing love, right? The fear of failure, which at the root of fear of failure is the fear of rejection. It comes down to we're always fearing being rejected by other people and being deemed not enough, unlovable, and unacceptable. It's the root of everything, of the fear, of the lower vibration. It's all going to end the more you turn inward and upward and find that connection to that beautiful love inward. You get it unconditionally. There's nothing you can have to do it. In fact, Rumi says you don't even have to find love. You just discover the obstacles that you've created between you and being aware of that love. And so you learn through habit to focus on the outside world. You learn through habit to focus on unconditional love and connecting to the spirit world. So it's just meditation, talking to spirit, um, just focusing in. I have some meditation. I think I do have a meditation playlist that has an I am love meditations, which starts off just chanting, I am unconditionally loved. I am unconditionally loved, and just feeling that you are and seeing the creator and your spiritual posse saying it to you. And then there's other things that you can do with that, but I feel like that's a great start for you there. And that's what they have for you, Ashvin. So many blessings to you. And then my last individual here is XYT. And if I missed anyone, my deepest apologies. I will be back on in less than 2 hours for this evening session. So come back and join us then. Also, I'll be back at 11 a.m. Mountain Time tomorrow as well. And if you guys are interested in a past life reading, I just put out, there's links in the description box of the video. I just introduced those. You can have a 30-minute or a 60-minute. 30-minute right now, it's half off to the end of the year. $10 for a half hour and $25 for an hour past life readings. And there's a video link. You can find out all about it. And then also I put out winners for the November drawings, my monthly drawings, and there's also an opportunity to win a past life reading drawing on there too. If you look at the links to the video and go under the giveaway playlist, look at the most recent video. All right. So XYT, does your ex miss you? Does he want to reconcile with you? All right, let's take a look here. The Five of Cups here, I don't feel like they are absorbed by their own emotions here, XYT. We've got all these three cups that are spilt here, and they're focused in on that. The reconciliation would be over here, but they're focused in on my emotions. I feel like they get more attention from people being broken up than they do when they're together. And I feel like they are very focused on getting this emotional attention. They're not someone who gets a lot of attention for doing great things. I feel like they're like middle child syndrome where, the older child and the younger child, they get all the good attention. And so the middle child goes, why compete with them? I'm going to be ruler of the negative attention. And I feel like that's what they're focusing in on here. They're very self-absorbed, with this energy here. So I don't feel like they miss other people. They focus in on them, and I don't feel like they want to reconcile because they like getting this attention of victimhood, like, "Oh, woe is me," and people are like, "Oh, boo, 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 boo," and so they get that, and like someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take you out to eat. Let me try to cheer you up." They like acting down and sad and because they get people to do things for them, and they get more attention than when things seem to be going fine in their life. So XYT, I would not worry about them trying to reconcile. I would recommend here, Spirit, is saying, look at your emotions and realize you don't have to stay consumed in those emotions either. That Two of Cups for you is your power of emotional choice. There's nothing wrong. Every moment is a choice of lower vibrational emotion or higher vibrational emotion. The lower vibrational emotion is very heavy and limiting, and the sadness and all those things, but you can choose when you want to choose differently if you want. Otherwise, while we vibrate at a lower vibrational emotional energy, will draw in lower vibrational experiences, people, and situations. So if you don't want to continue to do what you've always done to get what you've always gotten, but you're like, yeah, I'm done with that, right? You're clearing away emotions that no longer serve you. You're clearing away beliefs about yourself that no longer serve you. And you're raising your love vibration, which will allow you to bring in someone that you deserve. You deserve to be someone like you, not someone who takes you for granted, right? And so I like those for you. So that's what they've got for you, XYT. Hang in there. And thank you guys so much for all your patience in waiting for these readings to come through. Again, much, much love to you all. And please know as you're going throughout each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. Of course, I love you too. So until we chat again, much love to you. Hang in there. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day or night, wherever you're at in the world. We'll see you soon.